I'm not scared of any other player in VCT.
We want to make history in 2025.
You saw us last year, so I think you must be scared, and you should be.
Hold on. If there was a man to do it, maybe. Oh, just maybe, it's 3 ends! You know there's talent!
I have really high expectations from us, and I do think we're going to dominate.
And he's been caught in this corner a couple of times with 10 HP. It's all he needs! Derke unleashes!
I really respect them, but I don't think they're gonna dominate as everyone is saying.
Team Heretics is coming.
Well, Team Heretics is coming, but Team Vitality were ready for it. A fantastic start for the side of Team Vitality on Haven. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here in the studio with CNED from VIT and a very special guest. We got so many special guests this week. Of course, it's Gorilla, the head coach of Koi, former head coach of Team Vitality. So I'm going to come straight to you here. You guys set a pretty nice record against Heretics since your time there. Are you happy to see that this is continuing, that Vitality just for some reason never lose to Heretics?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they continue the legacy, and you know, it all wasn't for nothing, and they're not just going to throw it away. And especially today, where it's such an important game, right? It's the qualification match for Bangkok. So I hope they keep it going.
Yeah, it could might well be a 2-0 if they carry on like this. But here's the thing, CNED. Heretics had a really nice chance when the side swapped. Why do you think they weren't able to close it out when they were winning so many rounds on their attack?
I think maybe like end of the map could be like a little bit like getting shaky, you know, like and Vitality find the rhythm with like one round, like they get the confidence, they get the round, and then just get rolling like the round by round. They just destroyed Heretics in the like last episode of the game.
The momentum.
Momentum
It also helped that Derke was killing Boo over and over again, and again, and again. And also, what was Derke doing in the beginning of this map? Because I need you guys to talk me through this. Is this normal? Do players do this like in scrims? Like, do you see this often?
I think I've seen it once in practice back on Vitality, where Safe did it on Split, and apart from that, I've never seen it. So this is crazy.
Yeah, and how crazy is it, Cena, that he's doing this on a game that qualifies them to Masters?
I think he did like because of the just beginning of the game. Like he wouldn't do, like no one can do that in the like very, like, how do you say?
Yeah, like to close out the game.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. Like it's
your bonus, you know, like you can take a risk.
Because yeah, his bonus, like they just tried. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not important. It's bonus. They can just win the rounds after if they even lose the bonus. But yeah, it was a good like trick to do that.
I felt like he won the mental game as well, because if you are Heretics and that's how you lose your bonus.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like suddenly the minor bits of tilt coming out from the side players, like, bro, you even tagged him with the camera and you're still not going to shoot the clone, you know? Like, so yeah, I definitely think that played a part in, like, you know, the spiral that was Vitality's attack set.
And of course, we weren't quite sure what Heretics were going to bring here. And in terms of the comp, we saw Tejo on VIT, we saw Miniboo finally at Kickoff playing this Yoru. And CNED, it wasn't bad at all, was it, Miniboo's Yoru?
He started the game like not he wanted to, I think, but in the defense side, he just find his in attack side. Yeah, he find his rhythm, and he like start to doing good things. But I think he still needs to work like in the defense side. For example, I didn't see he just by operator in Valorant.
That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. Is this? Do you feel like this is just because against Vitality that it didn't work, Gorilla? Is there legs to this?
No, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I remember it's they were saying that their comp is because it's the Fnatic comp that they were going to do different things. So but honestly, I didn't see that, like, for Vitality.
Yeah.
So I think that this might have been maybe a specific anti that was slightly off based on what they played in, was it against Na'Vi? And also from what Fnatic were doing. But I think yeah, it's probably just a bit off in their game planning. But Woot's not on the lineup agent, so
hey,
that's,
he was having the time of his life, But let's talk about the next map, because this is where I think everybody is shocked that a team that came out and said we never even pracked Abyss before kickoff is choosing to pick Abyss. Now, CNED, you spoke a little bit about how this could be a good thing. You know, you could have surprises, you could have worked really hard on this, and Vitality can't counter. But Gorilla, as a coach, how big of a risk is this?
I don't think it's too big of a risk, actually, because the prep that Vitality have on Heretics probably isn't that much, considering they hadn't practiced. But now, given the amount of time they've had to properly practice this, as well as how, I don't really like saying things like it, but like kind of one-dimensional that the Vitality comp is with the triple initiator, right? Very execute heavy. So I think Heretics have a boatload of prep on how Vitality like to play. So I think it's a solid pick from them.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because CNED, we've got the Breach, Sova, Tejo supporting. I mean, as a Jet player, that's like your dream, right?
Yeah,
You're having a great time. Do you like that comp?
Like, I don't know what to say. I'm not fan of to be honest playing even if I duelist player. I don't like, to be honest, playing with the 3 initiator, because I think sometimes it's like you are related to too much utility.
Yeah, well,
and,
they heard you.
Yeah.
They're gonna ditch the triple initiator. Miniboo is a Yoru main now, all of a sudden, and VIT is playing Chamber. Break this down for me, guys. Do we like?
Yeah. Like, I need to, I think it's basically the go kill comp, you know, like for Wood, and like your Miniboo will try to enter the side, and Wood just buy operator and play in the off angles and try to surprise the enemy, basically.
I think you've got 2 operator agents here where, you know, there might be some overlap. I think defense is going to probably be stronger for Heretics on their attack. They have nothing to really, you know, utilize the verticality on Abyss, like, you know, top sites until they actually get in. So, you know, with Jet, you can dash and home and TP and etc. So it'll be interesting to see Heretics attack here. But I think Chamber's really good right now, and you know, Woot's a shooter, right? So
and a Benji Riaz. I mean, Benji Tejo. Is this the right thing for them? You think, to put Benji on that?
let's see. It's a bit of a swap, playing, you know, from an anchor to more of a rotator agent. But let's see how it goes.
I like that one as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but of course on the side of Vitality, they didn't need to change anything. But I guess this was the surprise that Heretics had all along, right? If you were a Vitality right now and you see that this is what they chose, CNED, at least what would you be looking out for?
To be honest, in attack, I will just execute.
Yeah, both of you, just exec. Let's see if they can do this, because Mitch and Kukuga, I definitely did not see this coming. I want to see what you guys thought about this comp.
Well, I'm very curious to see how this one's going to work out. The Heretics composition, like they're talking about down on the desk, Bale, we've got Yoru, we've got Tejo, we've got Chamber. I don't know how much practice most teams out there would have up against this kind of comp.
So here's the thing. I might be living in a dream. Did I not see something very similar yesterday night on the G2 Sentinels? Because I feel like G2 ran a very similar version of this comp. I believe that they had Breach. I'm not sure if instead of the Sova, I assume instead of the Tejo, right? But it would be crazy to think, right, that they just picked up a composition that they saw last night and they were like, yep, let's do that. But Wood playing on the Chamber, this definitely does not require lineups.
No, it doesn't. They just line up your crosshair with their head, and I think he's got that one nailed down without too much homework. Vitality, they gone for a few Sheriffs here, and Derke and Kicks using them to good effect. Complete seizure of this B site, and now Heretics locked out. Wood's gonna go south side, flank the rest of the squad. You're running straight back into this setup that just decimated the defenders.
Spike's gonna go down. Oh, if only they knew how close they are to each other.
Oh, okay. Shot lands the other way. Might have a competitive pistol round still on our hands. Derke, oh, he was looking around the back. Oh, and in fact, he walked straight into Benji Fishy. Good little security detail. Woo. Well, they know that he's isolated. 2 players spotted up in heaven. If they can take him down, their back is secure. But Woot has blown a hole wide open in this attacking composition. Safe, he's seen the gun. The silencer gave him away. And with that, the chaotic round falls into Vitality's hands.
Yeah, I would like to hear what Derke was saying there. But going back into Vitality, starting another map, getting another pistol, starting up with the right foot. Going on to mid, right? With this composition, yes, you have the chamber, but it's not like a typical Sentinel, so there's going to be some gaps in the map. Vitality take advantage of that, and even though later in the round this looked like it was going to be a possible retake, just keep working the map and trying to get as many advantageous duels as you can. And a stack onto B, coming from the side of Heretics now. Not much to fight with in this round.
I don't mind this. I think it's a good call, having your little bit of range. Right there. 3 players, all on one angle. You've got a chamber with a headhunter. You've got a Marshal further back that's going to tag them up. Even if your headhunter doesn't hit its mark and just lands the body shot, you're still doing beaucoup de damage, and that's really all you're looking for. Like, in a round like this, creating those little advantages, well, it's already paid off. They've got a pick. They've left Kicks down without shields and a little lower, and now you've got to play the later round without Derke.
Some people would prefer not to at all.
Most people.
Yeah, most people. If you have Derke, why not? Trex is going to be using the drone just to get onto site. It's not going to spot absolutely nothing. And it looks like eventually Vitality will finish up on this B side, but look at Heretics, look at the position.
It's just that patience. And they might not have this. See, this is the thing. They start out the round with 3 players on a firing line, then they step it back.
Walking it.
They fall back, so you don't have that info. You think they've left. They're not here anymore. Why would they be? Sitting, waiting, but pouncing when you step into their den. It's Team Heretics with nothing. Pennies invested. And they have got a world of results. Kicks is fighting on the other side of a smoke, and they have got him outnumbered and outgunned, evidently. Couple seconds left for that spike to be planted. One player needs to give their life to make sure that doesn't happen. Or they could still give the round away. Trex now, info on both players. First, taken down, and it's all on Taboo. A classic in hand. Surely not a fight he wins. He's already been dealt the death blow, but the wall got in the way. The shock dart barely avoids taking him down. 10 HP. And Trex has time ticking away, but up top, a recovered rifle and what could have been a disastrous conclusion.
Oh, but Trex ends up being the hero on a round that was so well played by Heretics, making the use of the Headhunter, taking Derke down at the beginning of the round. Even with this micro, the Vitality had ready to clear up all of that space. It just was not enough. Too close for comfort. Of course, you know, coming into this bonus, economy is not going to be the best.
We have Russians on the team. Let's go.
You do.
But this is the other thing, right? Once Derke goes down as well, you look at what they could have done to disrupt that round. It would have been Derke dashing in, not giving you the space and time on the backside.
I think that they were just gonna. They're just gonna. I understand, like that is in the lay, but they're being very patient. They're making use of all the time that they have. So especially in that situation, I expect them to act in that way. What I like is Heretics also decided to wait, to just settle for the plan, and it's just a drone on the other side of the map that is not going to disrupt us. And
you have to wonder, does that work if they don't find the opening pick like that? Does that work if even Miniboo's a little more aggressive, peeking there with the Marshal? They don't go to B in the same way, but perfectly played.
I guess we'll never know.
Guess we'll never know. 56 seconds on the clock. Vitality, they got a mixed buy. It's pretty decent with those rifles. You'll see the pistols play a little further back. You'll see Safe put out guided salvo. You'll see Kicks' utility come in on the side, and it should be a field day for Derke. He was dropped at the start of the last round, but here is his chance to show up and make a weaker round really stand out. Miniboo just managed to slip past him perfectly. Guided salvo to delay, buys Miniboo a second, but he's still out in the middle of this crossfire. Trex jump shotting him on the way through. The trades would have been there from the smoke, and a 2v2 that comes of it. Trex again. I can put a couple of rounds on the last map down to that man in particular. He clutched up when they needed it the most. He made that 13-10 possible. And here, a statement of a third round from him with a triple already under his belt and post-plant Hunter's Fury as well.
Could be beautiful. Fate. It's going to try and go for the first one. It's definitely going to risk it all.
Beautiful bait. And of course, when you see an Astra and a Sova who just got ult online, you're not going to think someone's sitting on site. You think, oh, they're going to use Star, then they're going to 100 Fury, they'll Shock Dart, they'll do all these things.
Funny enough, this too, they mostly stay on site after they plant the spike. Like, there's a lot of patterns that I feel like we're still going to be seeing, especially, as you're saying, from Kicks and Les, of the staying on site. Did we see on the replay that shot again from, was it Trex? The jump-in one?
Oh, I didn't even notice. I was looking down.
Man, I missed it. My Phantom doesn't work like that.
No.
No.
Good lord, no. I mean, he was close, I suppose, but the RNG gods were with him that day. 3-0 start for Vitality, and pace is not something they're looking to leave behind. Rienz, he picks up the first. He won't get the second. The trade could have been there, but the
damage
smoke
is done.
Perfectly timed. Even still, like you said, damage done. Look how easy it can be for players like Benji. Players like Woot with the Headhunter to drop some of these remaining players.
Yeah, and look at Kicks and Les, very close to the ultimates as well. Trex could play for it, but he's going to play within sight. The flank also coming in onto Les. He's going to spot one of them only.
Boo down, numbers are starting to thin, and Boo finds himself alone against the red tide of the Vitality attack side. It doesn't look good, but he's doing damage. He's making it costly. Not giving up on himself just yet. Star down, could give him a smoke, but Safe's timing to peek. It's absolutely perfect, and now the time is just too far gone. Their attackers are already leaving the site. They're saying if you want to go down to the spike, be my guest, but I ain't going with you.
4-0 now in the score. Yes, this is looking a lot like Haven, but I'm, just not jumping from the ship just yet. We know how Heretics started. This was not the round for Heretics to win, but it is going to be very familiar with the first map. Timeout after this first 4 rounds. A little bit on talking on what we're using, how we're doing it, how we're utilizing the chamber, how they're facing onto mid. What are we going to do with those passive entries? Give me the coaches. Give me the coaches. Give me.
Well, it was certainly a rocky start to that first map. We're seeing maybe similar signs, like you said, here. And the thing is, for Team Heretics, you got to lock in here and now. I understand the early timeout. I understand it in the last map as well. You think back to Haven. It seemed like they were out of the Tempest. They'd escaped the cloudy skies, but they were in the eye of the storm. And my goodness, they went a little further right back into that rocky water. Now, I think we come into this 4-0 start. It's not terrible, but it's how we're getting here. Players who you highlighted, and I love that on the desk, players like Kicks, like Trex, they're not as big of a name as what we look at in even a lot of the players' minds. Who's the top 50? How many people you think are going to put them in it? But it's about what you do behind the scenes. You think of players like Solkas surviving on Team Liquid for so long, back in the good old days. Sometimes it's not always about the numbers on the scoreboard, but this time, this map, Trex has got the numbers on the scoreboard as well.
So many ultimates for the side of Vitality. This round could be so important for Team Heretics, but look at the ultimate that they have that could have some impact is Rien's one, right? That they can work with.
That is a risky play. If ever I've seen one, he has continued forward, taking this fight with no intention of falling back.
That's the operator
a little bit out of range of his TP by an eye test, and couldn't quite step back into it because there were players spamming him up. That's a good start for the side of Vitality.
And they're doing the same, right? They get the pick, they freeze. Just freeze. They're going to wait, use the drone to see if there's any aggression coming in from the side of Heretics after getting that player down. And the decision is going to be firm. Let's walk onto A. I mean, they're not going to find any setup going in. They can react to everything. They can just move quickly, get the spike down, work from there.
There they are.
Oh, I like it. The reveal. You can shoot through the smoke when you reveal someone? That's crazy. Rienz has picked up Kicks. 4v4 as a result, and now Heretics, you start to look at that Hunter's Fury. Yes, it's going to be put through, but there's one in response. He's on the jump shot, evading the Hunter's Fury fired back at him. That is beautiful. Vitality now eventually get the plant in. I guess the Hunter's Fury not finding the impact.
And I'm surprised that it's safe that he goes for the Armageddon, probably to use this to buy them a little bit more time, to force on some duels, but Les was also one away from his ultimate.
Hasn't ran the clock down that low, and now primed and ready for the retake. Derke's on site. Derke's not on site anymore. Miniboo has wiped him from our memories, but Trex again delivers when he's needed. It's a 2v2. In fact, a 2v1 with 13 HP on the other side. This one surely done, and it looks like Miniboo's making the same read. Time to get out of there and give another round to Team Vitality. Deja vu of map number 1.
Even with all the chaos going down, I love how Les just stuck in the back being like, the spike is down, I know what I have to do, I know that I still have my utility, it's not my duels to be taken, I don't need to hit those kind of bullets. Still another round for Vitality, beautiful reveal.
Really was. Gotta commend his idea to shoot. 5-0 start. It's a difficult one to climb back from, but we've seen Heretics do it. We've seen him do it before. And we've seen him do it today.
And hear me out. It was extremely close, and they were making them use so many ultimates for the side of Vitality to feel comfortable, but it ended up being a very good investment. They're so dead. How's that ultimate called, Mitch?
The Del Defense. It looks like it's not getting to tour much of that force right now.
Well, he's touring now from A to B.
Oh, he is. He's on the walk. Well, we'll see what sights he sees. When he gets to the B site, if he did, he might not find a lot of attackers there. Vitality, again, they're content with pumping the brakes.
One kill, we freeze.
With moving. Exactly.
Every single time.
And it looks like they're already starting to thaw out, moving towards the A side, a gradual shift to what is wide open space. Whoops. That's kind of perfect. I mean, the fact that he saw around the corner isn't great, but you see Derke trying to hide, and you think that, yeah, this is probably a B play.
Spiked dropped onto Kicks, and Safe probably wants to bait a little bit onto A. What they don't know, exactly, no one's there. Heretics is again stuck on B, and that to the force could be game-changing.
The stealth drone saw Derke walk back, then Salvo goes out on A. Heretics don't have that info, but yeah, you think this is going to be an A hit. That's what Vitality are trying to tell you, but instead, they've come into B, into the heavy numbers of Heretics who are not winning the opening fights. Stepping through the smokes, they've met their demise, and just like that, whoever said safety in numbers, well, they should have watched that round. 6-0 for Vitality.
Just very meticulous play, right? All the stuns are ready. Kicks uses his ultimate to go onto the side. Yeah, Derke goes down, but still 4 players make it out alive. I would not be surprised if in a couple of rounds, especially if Heretics loses next round, I think that we're going to get deja vu again from Haven, and Neil is just going to request another timeout. Maybe, you know, again, Heretics decided to play this Abyss. This is the situation they wanted to see themselves in.
Well, this is the map they wanted to see themselves in. Maybe the 6-0 down start isn't in Neil's playbook, but if it is, he really is a different kind of coach. Team Heretics, A-site, 3 players here early on. They see contact, and then guess what happens? Nothing. It's Vitality on the attack. They love to freeze, and they'll sit here, and they'll wait for someone to make a play. Luckily, Heretics have got no shortage of information. Having already fired out the stealth drone in mid, they see that space
both love it. Having 2 drones on each team, it is a lot, especially when the timings are being so stale and everybody's using most of the time in the clock. Having those abilities that you can intercalate. Come on, Wood.
He hasn't stepped outside of his TP this time. Hasn't hit the shot, but at least he's not stuck in the corner getting decimated by utility spams and all of everything in between. Bladestorm active round the back is Derke. And down the bottom, we can't quite fill in our sign in the studio yet. That's not a falling death, but it's close. It's a prelude, a taster of what could come later. Vitality, they're moving to the B site, but it's not like Heretics have rotated.
Yeah. Les could get all the time in here, but with almost 20 seconds left, they have to be very, very quick. Boo could have this round even with just a pull.
That's huge. With Miniboo going down, now they're in trouble. Les has taken Heaven a double kill, and the plant secured with 20 seconds left. It was Les trying to find timing, but he was being watched. That's not a fight he should have won. The second wasn't a fight he should have won, and as a result, we could be seeing 7-0.
3v4, the Armageddon is ready for Benji Fishy, but they need to spot any of his players.
Oh, brutal utility thrown out. It's Kicks off his own stun to grab a kill. Guided Salvo should have gotten some sort of an assist there as well for displacement. Vitality find themselves winning the duels, but losing the site. Rienz has thrown a wrench in the works. He's made it around with a reveal up top and a tap on the spike already. Going for half, it's a race between him and Kicks, but Kicks gets there first. A 3-piece for the Breach and a 7-0 start for Vitality. In fact, it's a little worse for Heretics than it was in the, 0.5. Okay, I like it, good update. But it's a little worse for Heretics. They don't even have that one round on the board yet.
Yeah, things are not working. Yes, we see Rienz taking advantage of his utility and others, you know, finding the first kill, but it doesn't seem to make a difference for Vitality. Right now, they're playing pretty flawlessly. Getting this time in on the side of Leicester, deciding to walk mid, having that flank to support your team. If you're going to run the clock down, having this kind of plans is what's going to make you a victorious team. A lot of ultimates, but only Sheriffs in the hands of Heretics for this 8th round.
You don't expect to see those ults put into play, right? Maybe if they get a kill or a situation that's clearly advantageous, but it's unlikely.
Wood came back, maybe a little bit too quick.
Yeah, not sticking his ground, but understandably a little spooked. And around like this, though, you can take risks. Okay.
You can take risks, and if you're safe, you can charge your ultimate, apparently.
Why ever not? Decoy's being acknowledged as such. Benji goes down, but it's housekeeping for the side of Vitality. Okay, it could become a little bit more than that. That's now a 2v3. They still need to get on the spike, but Woot is hunting down some heads. Unfortunately, they were pointed right at him. Rifles lined up and round done. 8-0 for Vitality. What a way it would be to secure your spot at an international, not just winning, but dominating on that second map. On Heretics map pick, no less.
And again, right after this replay, we're going to jump into the timeout. But yes, even though Wood is able to click a couple of heads, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the outcome of the round. Vitality just playing the map perfectly. And as I was saying, they jump into their second timeout, just like it happened on Haven. Oh, they're not having fun in that booth at the moment. But what I was going to say, what I really like about this Vitality is the fact that nobody in that team needs micromanaging in the slightest. You see Les, for example, using just retrieving the smoke time and time again. There is the chances of, if he's with any of his teammates, they know that he's going to do that, and there's a stun ready, a flash ready, something is going to follow up. And I can tell you, that conversation isn't even happening. And having that level of chemistry with someone that you haven't been with for such a long time, it's what's most surprising to me. Because many times we see grandiose teams putting players that have big names together and they just don't merge. Like, things like chemistry is just not there. This doesn't seem to be the case for Vitality.
100% agree. Yeah, you can see this is just a team that is on the same page, and it can be hard. Some teams need that conductor to keep the band in line, but reality is this orchestra is playing all by itself. They don't need leadership, and then they have it as well. When they need it, they can dig deep, have safe, making those calls. Maybe not about energy. We'll leave that to someone else, but for the rest of it.
Did you not? In the comms video, Faded, when the other team requested the timeout, he just said, guys, honestly, keep doing what you're doing. They still haven't figured you out.
Love it. Love it. And that is another thing, right? Like, a lot of the props for Safe in my head is just that he is far from a normal player in the way he thinks about the game, in the way he will call, I'm sure. I think there's a benefit to being that little bit more unhinged, harder to figure out. Nice opening shot. Derke already onto Woot, and now looking for the side control, but Miniboo has slipped into the corner. He's found one, but he caught switching weapons. Now the push from the defenders, it falls back, it stalls out. And an isolated Boo on the other side of the map is in a lot of trouble in the late round. We know Vitality, they love to freeze. They love to rotate.
And apparently Les also loves to walk up mid. The drone is going to be used and is going to spot. See both of them. Oh, it's broken.
They're conscious. They know that that flag should be coming in. And at
Oh,
this point, Rienz,
push it,
what a mistake! Yes, he's a little slow. He doesn't run around the corner in time. Now there's backup, and now he's dealt with. The site's being taken. The Hunter's Fury's by the man who's got the spike, so there'll be no planting today. What there could be is an uninterrupted push, but Derke very much spotted. He jumps over the Hunter's Fury. Not quite aimed at the right altitude, but they know he's here. He's not going to catch them by surprise, and
30 seconds
even
left.
evading that, it's not going to sell what he hopes that it will. Spike plant not put through yet, conscious of the push up now of the flank as well. There's just so many dangers here, and with 15 seconds left, with Boo putting a star into play, he won't manage to interrupt. At least that's something to write home about, and Derke almost did catch them off guard. There's 2 players lined up to take him down. Boo takes that moment, knowing there's only one on the site, that he's isolated, but he's won the fight. And now Trex and Derke. Trex, who's won so many clutch rounds for this team already, is standing by on site to put 9-0 on the board. What can Heretics do to stop Vitality at this point?
They're 4 rounds away from securing their tickets onto Masters Bangkok. Even with this aggression coming in from the side of Heretics, trying to take things a little more proactive, help Wood on this first engagement that he's not been able to secure for his teammates. Even getting the hit here, having Les not getting the kill, even getting him down, get him into this 2v3 situation. Heretics was playing it well. They were not taking unnecessary risks, and it was not until the spike was down, after Trex baiting it 8 times, that things started to get moving.
Well, this is a fast-paced hit, a change of pace indeed. The A site is being overrun by attackers, but Derke found himself alone. The guided salvo stopped the rest of the crew. How has Trex won that? How have Vitality gotten away with this A site push? That is ridiculous. Even with the weaker weapons now, and the ones that are left, well, they are certainly weak. It's just the Sheriffs. This round could have had something. Instead, it seems like Heretics are again left holding on to sweet, sweet nothing. A 10-0 start and barely a dent in this attack.
Absolutely. So many times that we've seen Miniboo being the last man standing for this Heretics roster, especially on this map. 10-0, Vitality on their way to a perfect score in this first half. With Trex, Kicks, Safe, and I think everybody's showing up. But in this executes also changing the pace in the most tense moment after the round, after the 2v3, 3v3 round that we just experienced. Changing the tempo here is such a good call.
Might not be many rounds left to go. We call it the first half, but
Might be the only one.
yeah, you're not going to get the whole piece of the pie. Let me tell you that. A site, again, the target. A little less pacey this time. They're just waiting, setting up that utility. Ult in play, flash there. Who can't see a thing? They've gone. Derke has fallen down. Oh, the Armageddon has caught him up in heaven. He was flying so high. But his own team's utility. Well, look, Vitality, you got to give them props. They're trying to help out Heretics, trying to give them a round.
Give me a slow-mo of that.
They certainly need it.
Andy, if it's you, give me a slow-mo of that.
Oh no, how is Safe behind them? How has Safe walked up right into their back? This is a huge problem. Safe is just allowed to have his way with the backside straight into their spawn. A 10-0 start, and this is how you push to 11? Unless Rienz is gonna again have a clutch that we'll remember for many days to come at least.
Save.
And he's out of here. 11-0, and it comes off of that play. Site take, trades, and then Safe, which is the biggest gap I've seen left. Wide open. He was invited in.
Oh, for a second I thought Les just jumped.
No.
I mean,
We don't want 1.5 on the counter.
didn't Save want to hype this up? Save?
Get the hype.
It's 11-0.
No. We saw what happened when they got the hype up last.
Oh.
Okay, we're on one fall now. Oh no! Oh, here we go. Yep. In he goes.
Yeah.
Up he goes. Down he goes. That's.
Do we have a reaction as well? Oh, from different angles as well. What a beauty of a replay.
And we've seen. I mean, what was it? Shados, who had the same kind of trouble with an ultimate. That old timing. It has a wind up to it, and it's difficult to. Oh,
it happens. It's okay. It's still 11-0. You know.
You see him play it a little more.
Last round of this half, Mitch.
Teams have that. Yeah.
That is point.
Second last round of the game.
15 of a phone.
All missiles away.
But yeah, you have last round played out here. Could be second last round of the series as well. Heretics, they've put it all on the line. Of course they have. Every credit they've got put into this round. Tour de force in play for Woot. Shotgun to back it up. Guardian for Boo. There's weaknesses.
It's easy to say no impact from the utility and from the ultimates coming from the side of Heretics once they're 0 and 11, but Vitality have found the key.
Derke's got a backup weapon, I'm sure. He's using the Outlaw for now just to tag someone to 140. I'm sure he's got a rifle. There it is. Okay, yeah, he has. He's picked up a rifle. So early, he was in mid, just looking to tag someone down, make it easy in the late round. Maybe if they have light shields, which, you know...
Yeah, let's save it for next time.
Instead now, swap to the rifle. It's the A-site take. He's first in, first on site. Guided Salvo doesn't stop them this time. The team's there with him. And no punish from Heretics just yet. They're going to push, and Heretics are ready.
Again, less on the same position as always. The rest just playing from within side. All of Heretics to try and take tower control.
It's a big problem. You know, it looked like Vitality were going to push all the way through, but Derke sitting in the corner here. It's the right call. He might catch them off guard. In fact, now he needs to, because Heretics, they may just have found their way back in. And it's a little late. One round as a max is suboptimal. But here's their chance. The defuse needs to be found. It's half just now, and there's not a lot to try to stop them at this point. The Cosmic Divide keeping them separated and fades a little too late. Okay, they've done it. A round on the board, but have they got what it takes to fight all the way back?
Listen, Mitch, 11 is all they get. You're a Heretics fan, 11 is all they get. Do not forget, at least elimination is not on the line, but they would have to play tomorrow a best of 5. Mitch, I do not want to think about Heretics in a best of 5, so let me take a couple of minutes.
Welcome back, folks. It's time to get into half number 2 as, well, 11-1, quite a dominant scoreline. But when we get back into things, we get to see if Heretics can turn the tides of fortune and fight their way back into this game. One hell of a task in front of them, but being led, someone like Boo taking the helm, perhaps they'll have a chance. So far, he's been leading from the crow's nest. It's been a tough game for him.
Boo is 1-11, just like the score.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay, so he needs to not die, or this is going to get real bad real quick. 1-11, as you said, and it's time to kick off half number 2. Our barriers are up, and our players have not really moved. It's a nice slow play from Team Heretics, from that attack side. No one wants to be the one to make the first mistake, because in this situation, the first could be the last.
Yeah, and on Haven, we saw the aggression coming in from the defense when Vitality was on that side of the map, so probably Heretics is expecting the same thing. Ready, trying to look to see if he spots anything on A, but same kind of trouble. Like, you play without a Sentinel, it's gonna be very easy to get onto side and get the spike down.
This attack side is going to be sailing against the storm for Team Heretics.
Scanning ahead.
Just got to approach this one step at a time. Shock darts down for some damage. I love a little reposition for Shock. Nice. He's tickling them up, but all those players still standing for now. Spike not yet gone down. Guided Salvo should give them the space to get that in, and Rien's from the top of the rope, taking one, but Woot falls soon after. It's going to be a quick retake as well by Vitality. Spike hasn't gone down yet. They're trying to get ahead of this, trying to make it awkward for those players on the side, and they have done just that, leaving Benji Fishy against 2.
And we've seen this situation before. Kicks and less. 2v1, the Spike has to go down, all that utility, they're just gonna go and hunt him.
A round that's needed for Heretics, but a pistol win for Vitality. 11-1, that's the last thing you want to see. Just one mistake for Heretics, and it's down to that lower bracket. It's sink or swim time, and they didn't bring their flotation device.
It's even worse than that, because they didn't even get the Spike down, so they do not even have the extra credits to make a proper force for this one. Probably that was the call when there's 10 seconds left and you're in a 2v1. Hey guys, we're 11-1 up. No Spike, shit by for the next one. Yes, safe. You tell them.
How they navigate this peril. If Vitality find just one round, one big play from Derke, from Safe, from Trex at this point, it's all over. That upper bracket run for Heretics, they'll have a bit more of a buffer between them. Their international event. Hancock on the line. Oh, it's the TP from Miniboo. Little bit of a cheeky play in this round of all of them. Maybe they needed a risk to be taken, but the reward they hoped would be found is nowhere to be seen. Being run over, and it's less to do the damage. 13-1. Barely a fight to be had when it came to this last map. Vitality, we're sending them overseas.
And what a performance that they delivered, especially on this last map. A 13-1 to make the statement. It's not only that we won, it's how we did it and what we're going to replicate on that international stage. Yes, it might have been a mistake to maybe pick onto that Abyss. We saw the idea, the intention, but Vitality just seems to be on top of every situation in this region.
We talked a lot about this super team, and we've seen so many before. In fact, Vitality themselves once put together a super team. It didn't go great, and I think they've learned many lessons from that time, from that era. Now, they're going into an international event not as a dark horse, as a juggernaut. This is someone that I think any team out there should be afraid to face in round 1.
Circumstances are so important, and as you're saying, them making it to champions after, removing Salah from the coaching position, bringing in Gorilla, and just, trying to achieve something at the end of the year, as you're saying, it gives you that boost of where, like, the dark horse, we're the big surprise. Now you promise something, and you're actually sticking up to it.
It's an impressive delivery, and many out there cast doubt onto Vitality's name, but no more. Let it be said, this team, they came, they saw, they conquered, and Safe Super Team are going overseas. They're going to do one hell of a lot of damage.
Cannot wait to see what happens not only in the second match that we have today, because Heretics will be facing on a best-of-5 tomorrow against the team that wins next matchup. What a beautiful way. Yes, I know that the record and the best of 5s, but I'm also even more excited to get into that final, because Vitality will be waiting there. Are we going to have a team that has been working from the beginning on that lower bracket, trying to get here, or maybe we can get a rematch of today?
Well, Heretics will have that lower bracket run and a chance to warm up before facing them here in the final. But when it comes to this matchup, they were without doubt the victor.
Yeah, and right now we're gonna toss it over because we have a wonderful interview with Yinsu and Derke. Happy birthday, Derke.
Thank you very much, Kukuka and Mitch. Yes, happy belated birthday, Derke, first of all. Second of all, wow. Last year, this time, you didn't make it to Madrid. I know you found that really tough to be watching that tournament from home. This year, you've now made it to another global event with a different team. How does it feel to get your redemption a little bit, and also to make it with a different team for the first time in your career?
I mean, it feels good playing in different team with good people around me and kind of like new energy. The boys are really young and hungry, so it means a lot, kind of like getting into another team, and then of course they didn't get in, and now I qualified to more events than them, so I'm kind of happy for that.
You deserve it, Derke. You deserve it. You talk your talk. You talk your talk. Now, you talk about how you're surrounded by young, hungry players. Yeah. You are also a young, hungry player. I know you've just had your 22nd birthday, but it feels like you're in your prime. Maybe even a little bit better than before. Would you agree?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think mostly it comes with a new, kind of like new system or whatever people say. I think like having Save as IGL and he's like ex-duelist, he gives me a bit more freedom and kind of like, yeah, like he lets me do my own thing and it kind of like makes my life easier kind of, and I don't have to argue about like some small things, you know, and kind of like when the boys trust me so much and we can kind of like adapt on that, it's like really cool.
So the Derke go kill even strat is actually just Derke go kill.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Derke go kill, but pretend you're a Yoru clone? We're gonna break the tricks for you, and then you fake it and go kill? Is that also a strat that you came up with?
We tried it in practice, it worked. Like we tried it once in practice, it worked once, so we were like, let's do it again, and it worked in official.
Yeah, but you do it at the game that qualifies you to Masters. So what the timing of it on the bonus, does that play into it? Because you wouldn't do that a bit later on the map.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of faked it on eco round, so we did it on bonus, and it's like bonus you can sometimes throw away. Like you kind of expect to win, it's like hard to win a bonus, and you kind of expect maybe you throw their guns away, break their economy, so it's like that's why it's bonus. So we did it and we got like 2k and we were like really happy with it.
Yeah, I mean you can laugh about it if it doesn't work, right? It's not that super high pressure. Now there's so many new things I feel like about you. That Phantom, I don't think I've ever seen you buy Phantom that many times on a map ever before. So what was the reason behind using Phantom over the Vandal on Haven?
I like running gunning a lot. With Phantom it helps a lot. And then also Haven is like a map with a lot of smokes and stuff, and I like spamming smokes, but if I do it with Vandal I just get insta-tapped.
So it's just a Haven thing, because you're not really doing it anywhere else.
It just, I think Yoru Jet thing, on race it's always Vandal.
And lastly, before I let you go, I believe, as it stands, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, that you are the player that's made to most global events. I think you've overtaken everybody else now with Paper X not going this time around. So are there any teams that you would like to face? Who you got your eyes on?
I think G2, when we were in NA pracking, I think they were like the hardest team to prac and stuff. And it's like always good quality and stuff. And now like they're dominating NA, so it will be good to play them.
Yeah, you gonna diff Jogamo this time?
We'll see. I mean, in practice it was kind of back and forth, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. But for now, thank you very much, Derke, and good luck in another grand final.
Thank you.
All right, we will see Derke back in a couple of days, but before that, we got an elimination match coming up. It is going to be between Foot versus Liquid. Do not go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.